Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Monday or Sunday. It's Sunday right now here in Hawaii. It's 4:06 p.m. Aloha. You know, one of the first things I learned when I started this business is that not everyone will see what you see. And, that's okay. When you have a dream, sometimes people don't see what you see. And yeah, when you have a dream, sometimes people don't understand it right away. um it doesn't mean you're wrong, it just means you're on a different path. And today I want to share with you 5 gentle ways I've learned to handle skepticism, because it doesn't have to be something that discourages you. In fact, it can actually strengthen you. Let me put on my title. Where is it? There you go. So, yep, 5 ways to handle skepticism when you see a new opportunity. Aloha, everyone. I am Mel. I'm a nurse, I'm a mom, a wife, and someone who knows what it feels like to juggle a lot while still holding onto a bigger dream. And I'll be honest, when I first started, I thought everyone would be as excited as I was. But of course, some people didn't quite get. And at first, that surprised me. But now, looking back, I see it differently. You know, skepticism doesn't have to be a wall, it can just be a background noise that you gently walk past. And that's what I want to talk about today. First, okay, remember, skepticism isn't about you, it's about them. The first thing that gave me peace was realizing that skepticism usually isn't personal. People see the world through their own experiences. And if someone has never tried an online business, of course it feels unfamiliar, right? And when things are unfamiliar, people tend to question them. For me, I had friends and even family who would say things like, "Oh, are you sure that's real?" Or "Don't you already have a good job?" At first, it stung a little, but then I realized, you know, they weren't doubting me. They were speaking from what they knew. And what they knew was the traditional path, like go to school, get a job, work until retirement, and that's their comfort zone. So now when I hear skepticism, I don't see it as a reflection of me or my choices. I see it as a reflection of where the other person is coming from. And that shift has helped me not take it personally, because the truth is, their doubts don't define my reality. Okay, number 2, general way to handle skepticism: lead with their actions, not arguments. Um, the second thing I learned is that, the best way to respond isn't with words, it's with consistency. And, I used to feel like I had to explain everything to people to make them understand. But after a while, I realized, the more I tried to explain, the more drained I felt. So instead, I just kept showing up. I stayed consistent. I learned new skills. I applied them, and I shared little wins along the way. And I didn't need to convince anyone, with speeches, or it's my actions spoke for themselves. I remember one friend who was, really skeptical at first. They didn't say anything mean, but I could tell they didn't take me seriously. A year or so later, after seeing me consistently show up, they were the ones who came back and said, "Wow, you really is doing this. Tell me more." And that taught me something powerful. You don't need to argue, just quietly keep going, let your actions do the talking. Okay, number 3, set gentle boundaries. Now, this one is important, protecting your peace. Sometimes people ask questions that feel heavy, or they make comments that linger in your head. And if you let it, that weight can slow you down. That's where gentle boundaries come in. Not every conversation had to turn into me defending what I'm doing. Sometimes I just say, "Oh, thanks for your concern, but I've got this," and that was enough. No arguing, no long explanations, just peace. And boundaries don't have to be rude. They're simply a way of saying, "I know where I'm going." Protecting your energy means you have more focus for what really matters: your family, your work, your growth. Okay, number 4, find your safe space. One of the best decisions I made was to surround myself with people who understand what I'm building. Because let's be honest, if you only listen to the doubters, it's easy to get discouraged. But when you're in a space where people encourage you, celebrate your progress, and remind you why you started, everything feels lighter. And I've been so blessed to find a community of people who are on the same journey, other moms, parents, working women, stay-at-home moms. And that safe space has been such a lifeline for me, because on the days when, doubt creeps in, having these people around you will remind you that you're not alone, and you just keep going. And that's what makes all the difference. And then last but not the least, number 5, keep your vision bigger than their doubt. No, it should be than their doubt. Let me just, than their doubt. There you go. Okay. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Keep your vision bigger than their doubt. At the end of the day, this is the one that really anchors me, my vision. Why I started, who I'm doing this for. Because the truth is, doubt will always be there in some form. Sometimes from other people, sometimes even from ourselves. But when your why is bigger, the doubts shrink in comparison. And for me, my vision has always been my family, wanting to create more time with them, wanting to have the flexibility to say yes to the little things, like school plays, family dinners, even slow mornings together. And that vision keeps me grounded. So when someone doubts me, it doesn't rattle me the way it used to, because I know that I know what I'm working toward. And that vision is so much stronger than any skepticism. So, if you're dealing with skepticism right now, I just want to remind you, you don't have to carry it like a heavy weight. Most of the time, it's not about you, it's about, the other person's fears or perspective. You don't need to prove yourself with arguments. Just keep showing up, protect your peace, find your people, and keep your eyes on your vision. And here's the part I really want you to take home. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to have it all figured out. What matters is that you keep moving forward gently but consistently, because your dream is worth it. And little by little, people will see it too. So, if this spoke to you today and you've been navigating doubt or skepticism too, I'd love to connect. Send me a message. I'd be happy to share more about what I've been building and how it's slowly changing things for me and my family. No pressure, just a real conversation. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. Have a great start of your week. Aloha.